Okay, so welcome to another segment as I try to look at index notation. Yeah, so I'm going to give you some few concepts that you need to know under indices. So these are some few concepts that I'm going to give you under indices. Let's take, for example, you have the number 16. If I look at the number 16, it can be written as 2 times 2 times 2 multiplied by 2. Probably you may wonder, where is this guy getting this? Well, you can simply just take the 16 and divide by the lowest prime number, which is a 2. 2 there is 8, 2 there is a 4, 2 there is a 2, 2 into 2 is a 1. Then you look at what, how many 2's have gone into that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 16. Now, of course, this can also further be written as 2 raised to the power 4, right? Because you have got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 2's are 4, so we can write it as 2 raised to the power 4. In other words, that is abbreviated. Now, when a number is written as 2 raised to a power 4, this number at the bottom there is simply called the base, and then the base is raised to a number. That number to which it is raised to is sometimes called as being the index. Sometimes we call it as being the power, or we can call it as being an exponent. So that is what you need to remember. So in simple terms, so far, what have I talked about? If you have maybe, let me say you have got a raised to the power n, the a there is representing the base, and the n there is representing either the index or the power or the expo or the exponent. That is what we mean. And in most cases, we are going to be, writing numbers in that form. But when you have 2 raised to the power 4, what is the meaning of that? Or how can that be read? Well, this is simply read as 2 to the power of 4. So that is 2 to the power of 4. So, it can be read as, 2 to the power of 4. That's what we read. Suppose I have 3 and maybe that is raised to that. So that is going to be read as 3 to the power of 5. And that's what we are going to be dealing with when it comes to indices. Now let me give you some quick examples. I'll be looking at some examples so that you can just appreciate these indices. The question may tell you to say evaluate maybe let's say 2 to the power 6 and b 3 to the power 4. What do they mean when they tell you that? Well, when they tell you to evaluate the solution, it simply means 2 to the power 6. How can that be written? It means you multiply 2 6 times. That's what it simply means. So it will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we mean. But because the question says evaluate, it simply means you need to find the actual value. So if you multiply 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, that's 8, 8 times 2, 16, 16 times 2, 32, 32 times 2, that will give us a 64. That's what that simply means. So 2 raised to the power 6 is simply can be written as a 64. B, it says 3 raised to the power 4. What does that mean? Well, that simply means that the 3 needs to be multiplied 4 times. So it will be 3. It is going to be 3 multiplied by 3 times 3 times 3. So you multiply the 3, the base, 4 times. That's what that simply means. So 3 times 3 is a 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3 there. That is simply going to give us 81. I guess that is going to give us 81. That is what we are going to have there. So that is the meaning of what we have talked about. Now with this concept that you do have, sometimes we can be dealing with different bases and different index. How can you go about it? So when you're dealing with indices, there are laws of these exponents. So let me just say, you know, some laws of indices that you need to remember that will help you to carry out